So I wanted to talk about the fact that, first of all, Mood Ring is number 2 on the digital charts chart. Like, that's fucking crazy. Number 2, like, that's fucking wild, right? So, first, 13,000 copies sold. 13,000 copies sold. Just let that sink in real quick, because this is not a new song. This is not... I mean, 13,000 doesn't sound that much, but in today's day and age, it is. Like, usually these songs that sound like a brand new song that comes out on iTunes or whatever the situation is, will, I don't know, for a big star, I feel like 10,000-ish, like around there. And this is like not a lead single. This is nothing. This is a 4-year-old fucking song tacked onto the end of Glory from the Japanese edition, bitch. Like, what the fuck is going on? So I just want to, let's really get into this conversation, because the first thing I want to ask is, why suddenly is her team understanding how to raise the standards of everything that they do, because they used to have no standards. I mean, first of all, the Glory album cover, as we know, originally is fucking ugly as hell. It's hideous. It's disgusting. It is blurry, low quality, dark. She looks like Carrie Underwood. It just makes no sense. And now you're going to tell me now in 2020 you're going to switch it to her a glorious, beautiful photo shoot serving you Vogue, V magazine, like on a desert with the chains and the whole the symbolism behind that. She looks fucking amazing, like that body, the tan, gorgeous goddess that she is. The album cover that they gave us right now is fucking perfection. So that's one. They've raised the standards of album covers that they've, like, let's just go to Femme Fatale, boring, nasty. I mean, not nasty, but, like, boring. Like, what the fuck is that? You have Femme Fatale as the album title, and you're giving me her, first of all, in white. Femme Fatale means danger. Why are we in, luxury spa bathtub? Like, bathrobes. I don't understand what's going on. All that white, so it made no sense to me. So Femme Fatale album cover, boring. Doesn't even fit the theme of the album. Then you have Britney Jean album cover, again, another zoomed up, close up album, face. Then you have Glory, again, always the same shit. And now you're telling me in 2020 we're finally making sense of her album covers, making something gorgeous, something that will, you go on iTunes, you go into a store, you're gonna look at it and you're gonna say, wow, this is stunning, you know what I mean? So first they did that, they raised the standard and they made it look amazing, and we brought it to number 1. And after that album cover came out, we brought it again to, number 2. You know what I mean? So we were really, once you put... And this is just in life in general. If you just put some effort or put a lot of effort into what you're doing and make sure everything is of the utmost quality, you're going to get success for the most part. You will. You will. So that's 1. 2, then they did the Oops, I Did It Again 20th anniversary merch, and the merch was actually really cool. Like, the bathrobes and shit, and, the plaque, and everything had, a cool theme. Like, it didn't look cheap. Usually the Britney brand, since fucking, 2014, has been cheap. Like, everything she does looks cheap. Everything sounds cheap. Cheap. So, the merch looking good, I was like, wow. So, now we got the great merch looking great. You got the Glory album cover looking amazing. And then they dropped Mood Ring with a fucking, the post that they did on Instagram, it looked good. Like, it made sense. Like, it looked like someone had some effort into it. They, teased it. Like, it just was something that they wouldn't have done if this was an actual album cycle back in the day. You know what I mean? So, I don't know what's going on. They must have, hired some new people. Or I think, what I'm thinking is that, a lot of people are saying it's because... she's not working, so they want to make money off of her by promoting shit. I don't agree with that specifically. Why? Because they're really not making a lot of money off of the Glory album or Mood Ring selling some copies. You know what I mean? Altogether, they probably banked, 40,000 from that. But that, who is they? You know what I mean? Who's banking the 40,000? Really, it's going to go to the suppliers, the merchandise people, designers, the people who, David LaChapelle is going to get a cut of that. This person going to get a cut of that. This person, that person, this person, that person. So really, who at the end of the day, out of that, 40,000 that they probably made is really making a lot. Not, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't think it's, a money grab specifically. I think what's going on is that they realize that she actually has, potential to be huge against, commercially. You know what I mean? I feel like in 2016, they were kind of like, oh, girl, why are we going to put all this money into everything if we feel like she's not going to really do much and her fans aren't going to buy it like they used to? You You know what I mean? Or that we can't really get good press off of this, so let's just kind of throw something out and then go back to Vegas and get all the money there. Do you see what I'm saying? So I feel like somewhere along the line of this year, I think first of all they know that because she's gone, you know, that always builds up comeback hype. 2, all throughout 2020 she's been viral. Every fucking thing that she posts on Instagram went viral. All these Twitter memes left and right is super viral, and she's just been like doing nothing and yet still being the superstar that she is by garnering all this publicity. So I feel like they're starting to think like, okay, maybe Britney is still a big brand. So even though they're not doing much, now let's get into that, because I saw a lot on Twitter. A lot of the Britney fans were kind of coming at RCA and they were tagging them like, you don't promote shit, like you guys are so stupid. Mood Ring is #1 on iTunes for like 5 days now, and there's so much hype and blah 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 blah, all this bullshit. And you guys aren't adding it to radio, because you all were tweeting at the radio stations and they were telling you we're not gonna play it because we weren't sent the song. And then you guys were tagging RCA and telling them, you know, fucking put it up for ads. No, listen, she right now, she is in the perfect position for a huge, massive comeback whenever she decides to come back. Why? And why should we not do this whole Mood Ring situation? First of all, this is perfect that, okay, we see that Mood Ring went #1 on iTunes. It's #2 on the whole digital charts. Okay, great. Amazing. It's very hype defying, you know what I mean? Like, it's making everyone like, oh my god. And RCA and everybody like, okay, obviously she's still huge. Like, if we release something, let's give her a budget. You know what I mean? Because her fan base is clamoring for something. So that's good. You built the hype. You made her look as successful as she can be. But we're not taking away from it by doing a cheap quarantine video that you guys want her to do. No cheap ass music video for a 4-year-old song. This is enough hype that you need for it. They released it. It did great for what it needed to do. And that's it. We don't want a cheap music video. We don't want to send it off to radio, with radio knowing it's a 4-year-old song. They're not going to really play it. So now you would kill the hype of her actual comeback, because people are going to be like, didn't she release a song last year? Like, Mood Ring? Like, didn't she do some shit and it didn't really do great? You know what I mean? So keep it the way it is, because right now it's perfect. Like, oh, wow, she can do all that with a 4-year-old song, as opposed to starting to promote it with a cheap quarantine video and doing this and that. It kills the hype. It's kind of like with the Britney Jean era where they did Ooh La La. Like, people were clamoring for the new Britney era after Femme Fatale. It's been a year and a half. You know, you had Scream and Shout, which was huge. There should have been nothing until the next lead single. That's it. Ooh La La killed work, bitch. You know what I mean? Like, there should, like, once radio gets a song, they kind of look at it like, okay, oh, it's a comeback. Kind of like with Katy Perry with Witness. You had all this time, so people were waiting for new Katy, and then they released Rise, which wasn't really a comeback song, but it's still new music. And then you kind of killed the hype, in my opinion. Actually, it's not even my opinion. It's a fucking fact, bitch. It's a fucking fact. You can't kill the hype by doing this, like, you know, half-ass type of shit. Just the way it is perfect. Don't tag RCA. Don't keep trying to promote Mood Ring. Leave it the way it is. It did great. You got the hype. Perfect. Because now when she comes back for real, it's going to be fucking huge. And I want to go forward into... Actually, let's talk about Mood Ring real quick, because I know you guys wanted me to do a reaction to it. I'm not going to react to it because I know the song, but I will give you a quick review. First of all, it's one of the best songs on the album. One of her best songs of the decade from 2010 to 2020. It feels like classic Britney, like it's sexy, it's sensual, while with a modern twist, you know what I mean? With DJ Mustard's great production that sounded very of the time, sounded very modern, but it doesn't sound dated. And I love the vocal chops throughout the whole song. The song is just sexy, and it's very grown and mature, you know, and her vocal is really the prime point of it, because, you know, a lot of times with her, she'll do a chipmunky pitched voice type of thing that a lot of people don't like, or she'll do, you know, maybe it's not chipmunky, but it's auto-tuned, or whatever the situation is. Mood Ring is the perfect example of her vocal, because it is not touched, in my opinion. I don't hear that. I don't hear it being auto-tuned, but it has this perfect tone. Like, you just hear her gorgeous Britney tone. Like, it's kind of deep, it's kind of high, like it's right in the middle. It's super sexy, it's super sensual. And I don't know, her vocal on it is just, the tone of it is so perfect to me. It's like so gorgeous. That's what makes the song so good, because you just feel Britney in it. It's like In the Zone and Blackout, where her vocals aren't really being touched. Like Gimme More, Break the Ice, where you just hear her natural vocal and it sounds so perfect. So the production mixed with that perfect vocal and that bridge, beautiful. Like the song is just perfect. Could have been a lead single off of Glory 100%. I love Make Me, and I definitely have a sore part in it, but whatever the fuck, I have no idea what the hell that phrase was, but I definitely feel like Make Me should have been the lead single as it was, but Mood Ring would have been a great alternative. Like, that probably would have been a fucking massive hit, but whatever. So, so far I feel like her label is doing everything right. Don't release a music video. Do not add it to radio stations. It would be stupid. So leave them alone. Let RCA do what they're doing. They're putting in enough effort making things look good and not doing anything cheaply. So that's perfectly fine. And Britney's just kind of chilling and doing her thing. So right now I feel like the hype is festering and everything looks perfect. RCA is stepping their game up visually and promotion-wise. And yeah, so now we just kind of have to wait for Britney to do her thing, get out of the conservatorship or whatever the situation is that she is working on. And now let's go on to the next topic, which is Britney's career when she actually comes back. So I'm not going to talk too much about the conservatorship or anything like that, because honestly, that could be a different video. But when she does get out of it or loosens the reins or whatever, let's talk about what I would want. There's only 2 routes that I would want her to do when she comes back. So it's going to be either one, big dance pop, diva pop. Like, I feel like pop is coming back really strongly. Clearly Lady Gaga, Dua Lipa, like all the girls are getting top 5, the number 1. Like, females are kind of back on top. Like, they're kind of getting back. I always tell people it's a cycle. I remember, like, just a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, everyone was like, oh, pop is over. Females are never going to run again. It's all rap, 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 trap, trap, trap. I said no. Everything is always a cycle. You get that. That's going to happen for a few years, and then it's going to come back. It's a circle of life, bitch. It's a circle of fucking life. So, females are back on top right now. So Britney, being the queen of fucking pop, let's be real, or the princess, whatever. For this generation, I feel she is the queen of pop. So Miss Britney needs to come back and either do a big disco-y, poppy type, like very much like Chromatica or like Confessions on the Dance Floor Madonna, like something like that. Or if you're not going to go disco pop type of big bass sound, go straight up just pop. Like literally like Oops, I Did It Again type of just like extremely catchy, extremely hooky, just, kind of like Kim Petras or not Charlie XCX, but like Kim Petras or something like that. Even something like Say So. A song like that, just very poppy, very upbeat, and very just hooky. That, big disco type of sound, like dance club type of sound. Or, hear me out here, I honestly think a great other alternative, or not even an alternative, you can kind of mix it all up, and we don't have to just do one genre, but I think a song like I'm Like a Bird by Nelly Furtado, or I'm like a bird, I wanna fly away, I don't know where my home is, I don't know where my soul is, boom. So I feel like a song like that, or like Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield, like those 2 type of songs, they're very poppy, right? They're very pop, but they're also kind of adult contemporary, and they're very feel good, and I feel like it's very much Britney's spirit, and they're perfect. They're like classic timeless songs. Like, you will never get over it. They put you in such a good mood. Like, you start your day off, the soccer moms love it, the kids love it. You're going from 5-year-olds to teenagers are loving it. They're writing in their little agendas all over the place on their Tumblr pics, you know what I mean, or Twitter, nowadays, or whatever the situation is. I feel like a song like that, and that type of sound, would really make her, like, first of all, it fits her vibe, it fits her spirit, so it's always good for an artist to be authentic, and I feel like that would be very authentic for her, to have a song that is, like, kind of folksy and, like, poppy and, like, guitar, but, like, still upbeat and poppy, you know what I mean, but also lyrically matches to her. Do you see what I mean? I feel like a song like Unwritten or I'm Like a Bird, literally just like those songs. Like, imagine she sang that. Imagine that was her single that she comes out with. And, like, the music video is very just light and upbeat, and her just running through the flowers and the daisies and the unicorns and the rainbows. Like, but obviously more upscale, like, make, beautiful dresses, like, gorgeous gowns, you know what I mean? Like, something just beautiful. And just something, that will lift the spirits. And I feel like a song like that would be a great comeback for her. Tell me what you guys think. Would you, like, to me, whatever her next single is, and I see it in 2021, I feel like it's gonna be her comeback. The first single that she comes back out with is very important. Like, that to me is kind of my big conversation right now. Like, what would you guys prefer? Would you prefer, I feel like those are the only options. Giving me a Nelly Furtado, I'm Like a Bird type of song that is very, you know, something that everyone will blast and just feel happy, and like, well, also people will be like, oh my god, this is Britney. Like, I'm so used to her talking about sex, singing about sex, dancing, you know, big pop production, versus something that is still pop but is more like mature and like adult contemporary. You know what I mean? And especially if she comes out of her conservatorship, like singing something like, you know, I'm Like a Bird or Unwritten is so relatable to her life and relatable to everyone's life. A lot of her songs are very, you know, they're not that relatable. They're just very, I'm going to the club and I'm gonna dance, or I'm, you know, they're not very specific to her life. So besides like Piece of Me or something, you know what I mean, or specific to anyone's life really. You know, Make Me Ooh, Slumber Party, Pretty Girls, like Work Bitch, it's all just kind of like dance songs with no real lyrical meaning. So I feel like going in that direction, I think would be genius. So I think that would be a great way to come back. And then of course the second single could be like something, actually, you know what, I think that's what she should do. The first single should be like something like that, something that is just extremely catchy, and just cover I'm Like a Bird, that's it, period. And then the second single can be something like more of that big dance heavy sound, like, you know, like Hung Up by Madonna, something like that, something that is also trailblazing, because that's what she is. I think that would be great. Or flip-flop it. The first song could be that big disco, a dance thing, or a big poppy, you know, dance anthem with a big budget video and huge production and crazy choreography, versus the second single, which could be like the more folksy, but still pop, really poppy song. Do you know what I mean? I feel like, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, that is what she needs to do. First single, that, like, the Nelly Furtado thing, and then the second single, make it fucking, something very dance pop. Y'all let me know what you guys think. Honestly, I'm just kind of rambling at this point, so I'm gonna wrap this video up, but I think that it would be a really good idea. But you guys let me know what direction you guys want her to go in. I feel like that would be, it's just the most authentic to her spirit. And when, as a fan of music or any artist, I feel like the best thing is to feel like that they're connected to the music. Glory, she definitely was, but still, I really genuinely feel like a song like Unwritten, just go play that song right now, bitch, and picture Britney singing it, like, and then doing it live, like a live performance, a live vocal performance. I think that would be more shocking and more exciting for people and more relatable to her life than her doing a big dance comeback. You know what I mean? I think that would all be awesome too, but the big dance comeback, the lyrics would have to be relatable to her life as well. Like, they would have to be something about freeing yourself, or like just something relatable. But I still want that Natasha song. I still want something like that. I think she could do a good mix of like dance songs and then more like poppy, just anthems. You know, like big stadium anthems where she can sing and, you know, interact with the crowd, and, you know, it's just something more heartfelt. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about it, bitch. And she could run around in the daisies like she's doing on Instagram anyway, just make it a little more up budget, and period. So y'all let me know what you guys think of my ideas. Like I said, don't be tweeting at RCA, because, bitch, they don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, because it's really stupid to even do that unless, I don't know. To me, honestly, if she makes a video for Mood Ring, I'm not going to be that happy. I'm not, because it's just going to kill the hype off that they're building already, and that the fans are waiting for it. There's no reason to kill the hype. So, don't. Just get rid of, Mood Ring is over. Number 2, smashed. Okay, next, let's go back to this hiatus and come back when you're ready to really conquer. And I think that her comeback is going to be massive. I really do. Right now, she's in everyone's good graces. Like, people are really loving her. She's going viral all the time, and, you know, I just hope she really raises the standards of what she's capable of for her next era. And I want her label to continue raising the standards of what they're doing. Put it together, it's going to be a galactic, you know, fucking huge comeback, in my opinion. So, thanks for watching, bitch.